Hey guys, Pedro here to do an album review. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about the brand new record from Steel Prophet, The God Machine, out April 26 on Rock of Angels Records. The album has 10 tracks and it's 41 minutes in length. Now, for those of you not familiar with the band, their sound is really drawn out of the new wave of British heavy metal, power metal era, if you will. So bands like Iron Maiden, Saxon, Judas Priest, Manowar, Halloween, a lot of these bands really are the backbone that influenced this record. The sound on this record is heavily influenced by those bands. You can tell the moment you start playing the record, and you can tell as the record progresses. Now, the record has a really cool dynamic to it because it almost feels like they put out 10 tracks that have influences from different bands and from different records of those bands, almost like they took some of the key components that they liked from every single band and they incorporated in different songs to create a very different and very dynamic record. Now, there are some components that stay true throughout all the different tracks, but every track has enough new material in it to really create a very unique and different track after track. So you don't get into a situation where every single song sounds the same, every single song has the same structure, the same feel, the same vibe. No, the album is very different as far as the song structure, style, and overall sound. Like I said, there are some key components that really glue the whole record together, but every song is different. Structure-wise, I really felt that the album kind of starts really high with a lot of tempo, and then it starts to dip a little bit. It starts to change, it starts to morph from almost a power metal to just a pure heavy metal record. And then as it reaches the middle, there's a ballad there, almost reminiscent of something out of Scorpions. And then it starts to pick up back up again. The tempo of the song starts to pick back up again, and it finishes on another high note. So the album kind of has this dip, this peak, this valley, and then this peak again. So it's really different from that perspective because I wasn't expecting the album to start with such a high momentum, dip a little bit, and then pick back up again. I was expecting perhaps to go gradually down or stay even keel. I wasn't expecting this dip. But what this does, the more you listen to the record, the more you realize what this does is it really allows you to get into the record, because the first couple of songs are very dynamic, are very fast tempo. It allows you to get in, then you get a little bit more comfortable, and there's a couple of softer songs, if you will, including a ballad in the middle of the record. And then when you feel like the record is really going down that road of being more easy listening, so to speak, the album picks back up again. The momentum the songs get heavier, they get faster, and it really turns things on a dime again. So the album almost goes full circle because it finishes the way it started. Now, the key components, like I mentioned before, there are some key components on this record that are really the glue that keeps this whole album together. I feel that the main three components are the guitars, the vocals, and the overall sound. As far as guitars are concerned, I really like the sound of the guitars. I like the melodies, I like the riffs, I like the solos. Really well mixed, really well produced, and really well executed. I really like the sound of the guitars on this record. They have a vintage sound to them. From the riffs to the melodies to the solos, there is a little bit of a vintage vibe to how the guitars were played on the record, how they were approached, how they were executed, and how they planted the solos, and how they played those solos. Everything about the guitars on this record is really well done, really well executed. Vocally, the album is really incredible. I really like the vocal range that this album offers. You get a little bit of everything. You get a lot of dynamic vocally on this record. Some songs you get a lot of bit more of the higher end. Some songs comes down to a lower register. So I really like what they did on this record. Vocally is very dynamic. The vocal tracks on this album are incredible. They really give life to the songs. The vocalists really brought the album to life, really brought the lyrics to life, and there's so much emotion pouring out in the delivery of those lyrics. You can feel that those lyrics mean something to the vocalist, and those lyrics are there to represent feelings and to represent the song to its full potential. I really like the range. It really worked well on this record, because when you have songs that are a lot bit faster, they have a higher octane, you really want the vocalist to push it a little bit extra, to go that extra note. But then when you have ballads, you need the vocals to drop down a little bit and be a little bit more subdued and just be part of the song and not overshadow everything else that goes into the song. So from a vocals perspective, I really enjoyed this record, and I really enjoyed the wide range of vocals that were given to us, the listener, on this album. Overall sound, I really like how the album feels. I like how the album sounds. I like how it comes across. No instrument really overshadows the vocals. If there's one record where you can say that the vocalist has a predominant figure, this record is it. They really mixed it well in order to give the vocalist the predominant feature on every single track, with the music and all the other instruments behind them just acting as support for his vocal delivery. So I really like how this sound comes across. It really allows the songs to come to life, and it really allows him to emphasize the lyrics of each single track. I like what they did here. I like the mixing, the production on this record. I really like everything about it. It's really well put together, and it's very dynamic. It has a really cool sound, and it fills the space. The vocals, perhaps the most important component on this record, really feel like they fill the house. They're just large, they're big range. I like it. Now, as far as favorite songs are concerned, I'm going to start with the opening track, The God Machine, which is also the name of the record. What an opening track this was. This is like your typical power metal song. Just incredible momentum. The moment the record starts, you start with a song that has such tempo. It's absolutely killer vocals on this song. Everything about this track really breathes life into the rest of the record, because the moment you pop this album in and this is the first song, you're immediately captivated to listen to the rest of the record, because it's a song that just really speaks to you. It has a lot of fast moments to it. The guitar riffs are absolutely incredible. It has a beautiful solo, and then most important perhaps for a song of this nature, with this tempo, with this style, is an extremely hooky chorus. The hooky chorus on this song just captivates you. You will immediately start singing along. It's just a track that has all the necessary cheese factor components of a power metal song to really get you hooked, get you energized, and get you hyped up on listening to the rest of the album. So wonderful job from them to put this track as the opening track, because it really sets the album away. It really allows the listener to get engaged with the record and allow the listener to sit down and listen to the rest of the record, because it's a song that really engages your senses. Second track I want to mention to you guys is Buried and Broken. This is a ballad. It comes around the midway point of the record. I really love this track. At the beginning, the first time I listened to it, it didn't really captivate me, but the more I listened to the album, the more this song spoke to me. I love the guitar, the way it starts the song. It has an awesome, dark, embracing melody to it. It almost becomes a more acoustic at the beginning. It almost feels like an acoustic song at the beginning, which also adds to that dark embrace that this song really has. It's a perfect way to introduce a ballad to the record in the midway point, where you really need something different, something that perhaps then breaks the record into two. This song does that because it starts very melodic. It starts with a very calm, dark, embracing pace, but then after the first chorus, around the first chorus, it gets a lot heavier. The momentum picks up, the song gets a little bit, it doesn't necessarily get faster, but it gets heavier. The guitars come in and continue with that dark embrace, but give the song a little bit extra, give the song a little bit of an extra push. And this is a song that's really divided into two parts. That first part, more acoustic, more calm, more melancholic, if you will. And then a little bit of more anger comes out once the guitars get a little bit heavier. The tempos pick up just slightly. The vocals also increase. The anger is there both in the guitars and in the vocals. So the song changes its dynamic slightly without ever really losing the core ballad DNA that this song has. It's really a song of two momentums, a song that really represents also the midway point of the record. Because if you think about it, the first part of the song, it's slower in nature. It has a more melancholic, dark approach, which fits the mood of the previous songs getting to this point. And then the second part, it picks up a little bit, not too much as far as the tempos are concerned, but as far as the heaviness, it picks up a little bit. The anger really comes out in the vocal delivery, and that really sets the mood for what the rest of the record is going to sound like. Absolutely love this song. Also, it has a great chorus. This album is filled with songs that have hooky and catchy chorus. This one is another one. The melody of the vocals on this chorus are absolutely haunting and beautiful. I love it. This song just grew on me. The more I listened to it, the more I fell in love with this track. And if I have to go back to a specific reason, is how the vocals sound in the chorus. Absolutely haunting, absolutely beautiful. Last but not least, Fight, Kill. This to me is your pure metal anthem. I like how this song feels. I like how it sounds. I like the fact that they added, they didn't add, they changed the way they went for the vocals and the chorus of the track. Because the chorus of the track is really the DNA, the spinal cord of this song. This song is built like an anthem, and when you have a song built like an anthem, you really need a chorus that represents that anthem. So what they did was they had two different styles of vocals on that chorus. They had a much heavier, lower tone vocals that sing, fight, and kill. So you had that to set the mood, almost like a battle chant, if you will. And then you had the regular vocals coming in, but on a higher note, to just really push the envelope, really take that chorus to the next level. And having that difference between those two styles of vocals and the chorus really works well. It really adds to the whole vibe of a chant and the song feeling like a battle anthem. It really has that vibe, because it almost feels like one person is calling out and the other one is answering back. So that vibe, that dynamic between the vocals on the chorus is really what brings this song to life. Obviously, the guitars are amazing, it has really good tempo to it. It's a song that picks up the speed a little bit. It has nice melodies to it, and it has a really cool solo as well. It really adds to the momentum of the song. It really adds to the nature of the song. I really feel like it really allows the song to continue its path, and it's not a solo that really breaks the song or feels disconnected from the rest of the track. So this song, to me, it's one of my favorites on the album because it has that battle anthem vibe to it, like that battle hymn. I just love it, and I love the dynamic of the chorus, and I love the two different styles of vocals in that chorus, almost working, feeding off of each other, almost like a call and answer. I absolutely love it. This album is really well put together, an amazing job from Steel Prophet on the God Machine. Love everything about it. The more I listen to this record, the more I wanted to listen to this record. I absolutely love it. Filled with earworms as far as hooky choruses are concerned. And like I said, for the fans of power metal or new wave of British heavy metal, this is a must pick up because it just really falls in line with bands of that style, of that era. But not only that, it really allows you to travel in time to that time period and feel young again, listening to an album that's modern but has a lot of that old school vibe to it. Alright guys, this is it for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care guys.